So it's time to talk about my highlights, my fragrance highlights of 2022. Hi everyone, I'm Jean Lima from Scented Moments channel, where I help you to discover the wonderful world of perfumery. So in this video, I want to share with you the highlights, the fragrance highlights of this year, where I will share my most worn fragrances, 3 designers and 3 niche. I will also share with you my best blind buys, 1 niche, 1 designer. I will share with you also my best discoveries, 3 designers, 3 niche. And I will also share with you the brand of the year for me, indie brand of the year, and I will also share with you the best releases of 2022, 1 designer, 1 niche. So that being said, let's dive into these fantastic fragrances right here. I mean, 2022 was amazing in terms of fragrances, and also personally speaking, because I changed my work. I'm no longer working at a law firm. I'm working as an in-house, and it's been amazing. Actually, it's an American company, I mean, I changed that in July, back in July, and it's been amazing. It's been a wonderful, wonderful journey. So it was great. My girlfriend, we are living together finally, because we were living separately, me in Portugal and she was in Lithuania, where she's from. Now she's in Portugal, and she also, I mean, a lot of things are changing in her life for in the best way possible, which I'm very happy and proud. So yes, this year was very full, but in the best way possible. So let's talk about now these fantastic fragrances right here. Let's first dive into my most worn fragrances. Again, 3 designers and 3 niche fragrances. So this was a bit surprising. Yes, I mean, it was a bit surprising because usually I like my more heavy oriental, dense, thick, rich and complex fragrances, but actually the majority or all of these fragrances are fresh, aromatic, more fresh, spicy. Well, which makes sense because I'm from Lisbon, Portugal, and here this year was extremely hot, and for a long period. So yeah, that explains why I wore more fresh fragrances. I mean, it's hard to wear heavy fragrances when it's very hot outside. Now it's pouring outside. I mean, we are facing floods in Lisbon, but well, go figure. But that's good. I mean, to have some kind of balance, but it's very extreme, an extreme balance, let's say. Well, let's now talk about these fragrances now for real. Going into my designer, let's say, list. First fragrance, actually, I purchased this one this year. It's from Kiehl, and I consider Kiehl a designer because, I mean, their main aim is not fragrance. So Kiehl, and it is Original Musk. What a fragrance this is. I mean, I'm a huge fan of this fragrance, Original Musk, and I don't know if you can see the dent here, but like, I wore this a lot. I purchased this in June, and wow, I've been really wearing this non-stop because this is a simple fragrance. It has a soapiness into it, but it's very musky and furry. I mean, it's a simple fragrance, but it works. It smells clean and soapy and fresh at first, but then it also has that background of that musky furriness, slightly animalic feel. Absolutely love this fragrance. I mean, very simple yet very well done, and very unique. I never smelled any fragrance like this. So I mean, this is a great musk, especially if you are starting to dive into musk fragrances, or even if you want to know how musk smells like. I mean, I doubt that this is a real natural musk, but still, if you want to have an idea how musk smells, I think this is a great start. I mean, it's a great fragrance, and because of its freshness, because of its versatility, that's why I wore this a lot this year. I consider this even a signature scent. So Kiehl's Original Musk, and this is not ranked first. And second, this was a purchase also of this year, and this is a classic, and it's a fantastic scent from the house of Cartier Declaration. And you can see already the dent here. I mean, Declaration It's doesn't need any introduction. It's a masterpiece from Jean-Claude Ellena. This is basically an aromatic, spicy fragrance, a bit woodsy, dry, woodsy, but the main notes here are cardamom and cumin. So this can be a bit challenging because of the cumin more. It can have that BO feel that usually cumin has. But this is still, I mean, it's quite sexy in my opinion. I mean, it has that a bit mature feel, but I think it's very gentlemanly. I think it's quite sexy, very sensual. But it has the cardamom. I think cardamom gives that extra spicy sensuality to a fragrance, gives that smooth, slightly creamy, aromatic feel that I absolutely love. Then you have the lavender and the dry woods. I mean, this is a fantastic scent overall, and I absolutely love this. I'm a huge fan of Declaration. I don't know why I just added these fragrances this year, but I mean, better late than never. I'm also a huge fan of Declaration d'un Soir, and also a big fan of the Parfum version. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Cartier in general, and so this is also one of my most worn fragrances of 2022, Cartier Declaration. And last but definitely not least, from the house of Chanel, and you will see Chanel fragrances a lot in this video, but this one, it's definitely one of my most worn fragrances. It's Chanel Sycomore, and this is Dieu de Parfum. Absolutely glorious vetiver fragrance. It's my favorite vetiver, and it was very well featured on my most complimented fragrances of this year video that I updated. It was my latest video, so feel free to check that video out if you have yet to, because it's really worth watching. It has some unique fragrances there that you would not think of as a compliment getter type of fragrance, but some of them are listed there for some reason. And this was one of them, actually, Sycomore. So this is vetiver with this creamy nuttiness. It has the rootiness, the grassiness of vetiver, but also has this creamy, nutty feel that gives an extra sensuality. And I think it's what makes the difference, and I think it's what makes this fragrance stand out from the other vetiver fragrances. Usually vetivers are citrusy, are green, earthy, can have a dampness into them. But this one is more dry and creamy at the same time. Because of that creamy nuttiness, it gives that extra uniqueness and sensuality, like I said. So I absolutely love Sycomore. I mean, the real fans, diehard fans of Les Exclusives, they might prefer the Eau de Toilette version. I never tried the Eau de Toilette version of Sycomore, but I mean, Dieu de Parfum for me is amazing. It's quite dense and thick, which I love. So maybe I would prefer the Eau de Toilette also, but because I never tried it, I'm very happy with this one, and very versatile. Again, it's signature scent worthy. Sycomore from Chanel, from the Les Exclusives. And now let's talk about niche fragrances, and these are all fresh, all in the fresh side of things. So the first one is from the house of Caron, and I consider Caron niche. I don't know if they are doing something extra fragrance, but I consider them niche. At least they are being around for a long time. And yeah, this fragrance is Caron, Puro Nom de Caron, the original fragrance, the original Puro Nom. And this is a very simple fragrance, vanilla and lavender. And then you can see how much I really wore this. I mean, yeah, quite a dent. And because of its simplicity, you can wear this, I mean, anytime, everywhere that you want. I mean, if you don't know what to wear in a specific day, just go with Caron and it will work. The performance on me is actually really good. I mean, great performance, I would say. I mean, it's not that I will fill a room, but the longevity is really good. I mean, it lasts me over 8 hours. It's actually quite surprising. Maybe it's because of the vanilla, and it has a nice sillage around you. So I mean, It's really nice, and also featured on my most complimented fragrances. So this is one that I would never think has a fragrance I will get compliments or that I would be noticed. But I mean, yeah, it works. Again, lavender, vanilla, but it's a fantastic combo, and here it's done to perfection and will not break your bank. So first fragrance here, it's Caron, pour un homme de Caron. Next fragrance is from the house of Frederic Malle, and it is Vetiver Extraordinaire, another Vetiver fragrance. Yeah, I love my Vetiver fragrances here, and this one is no exception. This is my second favorite Vetiver, the first one being Sycomore. This one is more in the fresher side of things. This is a more traditional Vetiver fragrance. Yeah, you have the citruses. It wears a bit lighter, but the Vetiver has density. It has body. But you have more fresh, you have more citrusy, fresher accords that helps this fragrance to be more breathable, let's say, than Sycomore. Sycomore is it's more dense. And this one is more airy, more fresh. Although the Vetiver here is grassy, it's green, it's earthy, but you have, again, the fresher notes, the citruses in here that gives more freshness in the end and gives even more versatility to this fragrance. I really love this fragrance. It's very simple. It's a simple fragrance, but it's simplicity done right. A high quality Vetiver. Really high quality Vetiver here. It has a natural smelling feel, for me at least, to my nose, and that's why I absolutely love this. So Vetiver Extraordinaire, also one of my most worn fragrances of this year. And last but definitely not least, this could also be featured on my favorite discoveries, best discoveries of this year. But I mean, I wanted to add some diversity, and I wanted to add different fragrances, not just talking about the same ones in one video. So that's why I will just feature this fragrance here. But this was a fantastic discovery of this year, I would say. This is from the house of Acqua di Parma, and it is Colonia Futura. What a fragrance this is. I wore this so much during the summertime. This was actually featured on my summer list of this year. This is a brilliant scent. It's not reinventing the wheel, but this is like vintage. It's vintage, maybe it's not the best term, but it's like a classic fragrance, a modernized classic fragrance done right. It's the best way to put this fragrance. You have the lavender, an amazing lavender note in here. Very citrusy with bergamot. Then you have oak moss, or moss, or a cord of oak moss, which gives a green, sappy feel in the dry down. And it has this burst of citruses and lavender and vetiver and this mossiness that it's just to die for. It's a brilliant scent, and it has also like a watery feel into it. I consider this a modern Chypre fragrance, but it's done to perfection. I mean, it has a natural smelling feel into it, so I'm a huge fan of this fragrance. I mean, Acqua di Parma Colonia Futura, very underrated, but if you're looking for a signature scent, a fresh signature scent, check this one out. But the performance is actually quite good. I think this is an eau de cologne, but this doesn't perform as an eau de cologne. I would say that this performs at least as an eau de toilette, at least. Great fragrance right here. Acqua di Parma, Colonia Futura. Now let's talk about the best discoveries of this year. And I have 3 designers and 3 niche fragrances. So let's start with the designer fragrances first. Again, non-ranked. This fragrance, what a great discovery. From the house of Chanel, once again, Chanel number 5, L'Eau. This is the most elegant, chic summer fragrance that I have in my collection. This is a sparkly, a fresh, sparkly, a bit creamy Alehidis. Wow. So good. So good. And this for me is strictly unisex. Wow, this fragrance is to die for. It's that good. I absolutely love this fragrance. It was love at first sniff, and it was just like, how come I didn't try this before? And it's one of my favorite summer fragrances in the designer side of things, hands down. And I think it will be always featured from now on in my summer lists, and it will definitely be forever in my summer rotation. Again, the most elegant, chic summer fragrance. It's Chanel number 5, L'Eau. Next fragrance from the house of Cartier, Mousse de Cartier Parfum. I was in shock when I tried this fragrance on, how good this is, because I saw a video of Eugene talking about this fragrance, so I always got very curious to try this one, but I never had the opportunity to try it. So I tried this one at the duty free in Warsaw, and it was love at first sniff. I love galbanum and I love green fragrances, so of course you need to love especially galbanum to appreciate this one, because this is a galbanum bomb with jasmine and vanilla. This is so good. It's very thick. Oh yeah, very thick and rich with that galbanum. This is really a green, slightly resinous galbanum with lots of vanilla and a touch of an indolic jasmine. Brilliant. So it has a coziness in it, a sensuality at the same time. Wow, brilliant. I absolutely love this one. It's Mousse de Cartier Parfum. Again, strictly unisex. And the last but definitely not least designer fragrance set, it was amazing. And this is a classic. It's from the house of Hermès Rocabar. This is a classic, and how come I just discovered this fragrance in 2022? But well, at least I discovered, I tried it on my skin, and I always heard about Rocabar and how good it smells, but I never had the opportunity for some reason to try it on my skin. But I finally had the opportunity to do so, and here we are. Rocabar is a piney, bit leathery, furry, balsamic scent that it's to die for. Oh yeah, it's very piney, very woodsy, dry, like fur, a bit fur balsam. It's great. It's brilliant, and it has like a dusty, leathery accord. Man, this really blew my socks out on my skin. The performance is a bit disappointing, I would say, on my skin at least. But I love, while this lasts, I absolutely love it. It's Rocabar by Hermès. Now let's talk about the 3 niche fragrances here. This was a great discovery. First, it's from House of Amouage, recently featured, and I recently mentioned this fragrance. Beautiful, beautiful scent. It's Lyric Woman. And this is a tester bottle. That's why it has this cap and not the, let's say, original cap that you would find. But still, this is an official Amouage cap for testers. And this is a 100 ml, so great conditions. This was a fantastic deal. I mean, seriously, it was amazing. So this one was, actually, I tried it on my skin first. I tried this on, I think it was in Barcelona this year when I went there, and I decided to try Lyric Woman on my skin, and I was, wow, what is this? I mean, I always heard great things about Lyric Woman and being like a better rose than Lyric Man, and even being more masculine than Lyric Man, which was a bit surprising for me. But, and actually it is, now I understand. It really is. This is like a red cardinal dark rose with a heavy indolic jasmine with frankincense. Wow. Amazing. And of course, natural smelling scent. Fantastic rose here. Yeah, it's glorious and very unique. I never smell anything like this. And yes, I can see that people would say that, oh, this might be even a bit more masculine than Lyric Man, because Lyric Man, it's fresh, it's a fresh rose, and I love Lyric Man. I have a close connection to Lyric Man because it's the fragrance that made me discover and to appreciate rose fragrances but wow, Lyric Moment, it's also one that it's worth trying, to say the least. A fantastic rose scent right here. Amouage Lyric Woman. The next fragrance, it's from the house of Thomas & Monaco, Raw Gold. Raw Gold, what a discovery. This is intense. This has everything. It's a dark, full, with fragrance with gourmand qualities, because you have the coffee, you have the cacao, the tonka beans, so you have a gourmandish quality, but with animalics. You have a civet, you have booze in here also. I think it's rum or cognac. I would say rum, but definitely boozy, like a warm, slightly sweet, boozy accord with cacao, tonka beans, coffee, but definitely animalic, leathery, lots of leather. With a, you have civet, you have leather. I think you also have like a suede leather accord in here. So in the end, you have this very dark, heavy, complex, thick fragrance that it's to die for. High quality scent right here. I mean, Raw Gold really fits the bill. Perfect name for this fragrance. Great discovery. It's Thomas & Monaco Raw Gold. I mean, I already talked about this fragrance non-stop since I added it to my collection. And last but definitely not least, this is a rose fragrance, another rose fragrance. I love my rose fragrances, and actually I will do I don't know when, but soon enough, I hope to do my updated top best rose fragrances, and this will definitely be featured in that video. It's from the house of Heeley, and it's Rose Aria. Heeley has some fantastic hidden gems, and this is one of them. High quality fragrance. This is an extrait de parfum, as you can see. So this smells like a silky, watery rose petals that then develops into a furry animalic musk. Very random, very unique, and it just works. Oh, and it works. Yes, it works. So good. Very sensual in my opinion. I really advise you to check this fragrance out. Great performance, and the way that this changes is fantastic. If you love rose, if you love musk, if you love unique fragrances overall, if you're looking for a different sexy fragrance, I mean, check this one out. It's Rose Aria by Heeley. Now let's talk about the best blind buys, one niche, one designer. Starting with the designers from the house of Rochas Femme. Wow, this fragrance is a fruity chypre done to perfection. Of course, if you love Mitsuko, I think you will love this one. If you love Diaghilev, you will love this one. In the end, if you love fruity chypres, I think you will love this one. This is a great scent. The fruity fragrance, the fruity note here, it's plum. You also have peach and apricot, but I think the plum, it's what really stands out the most. You have this sweet plum accord, very juicy, that then turns into an ambery, mossy, woodsy scent that it's fantastic. Don't get fooled by the naming femme, because I would say that this is even more masculine. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely love this fragrance. High quality fragrance, and it will definitely not break the bank, because I mean, I purchased this. This is a 100 ml bottle. I love the bottle size, but the bottle presentation, the color of the liquid, this ambery feel, and it was 29 euros. I mean, it was really that cheap for a 100 ml brand new. Great fragrance, high quality chypre right here. And it's a hidden gem in my opinion. Thanks to, again, Eugene, that I blind bought this one, and wow, not regretting here whatsoever. Next fragrance, and this is the niche version, and it's a different, not a different, but the most recent addition to my collection, also from the house of Amouage, another rose fragrance. It is Rose Incense from the Library collection. This is still the older bottle presentation, which I absolutely love. I love this opaque red color with the black here and the gold lettering. I mean, love this bottle presentation. So Rose Incense, it's really how the name implies, it's rose Incense, but it's a very resin dense, thick, resinous fragrance. You know, you have the myrrh, you have the frankincense. They are so thick, and then you have this dark red rose, sweet red rose, that it's just to die for. Wow, what a fragrance. This slightly sweet, very red and vibrant rose around the most dark resins, very thick and heavy resins, very thick myrrh and frankincense. Wow, it's amazing. It's really one of the best fragrances from Amouage, and one of the best rose fragrances that I smelled. But it's more than just rose. It's the scent overall. It's freaking good. It's that good. I'm so happy to have this in my collection, really. And I don't advise you to blind buy, because I mean, again, I talked about recently a video where I was talking about samples. From samples to full bottles, you should sample first, of course, and I still stand by it. But of course, and I also said in that video, I mean, if you really know your taste like I do mine, it's safer to blind buy, because sometimes it's hard to sample. So if you in the end really know your tastes and know what you like, it's safer to blind buy. It's the case for me, and I'm so happy with this one. I mean, amazing scent right here. It's Rose Incense from Amouage from the Library Collection. Now I want to talk about the indie brand of the year. Of course, in my experience, and not overall speaking. And for me is definitely Papillon Artisan Perfumes. Wow, I was always a huge fan of Lise Moore work, because I had the opportunity to sample her work at 3 years ago or so, and I was a big fan. And since then it was always under the radar, but some reason I was always purchasing other fragrances. But finally I pulled the trigger to these beauties, and Nubis and Bengal Rouge. Absolutely love both. I mean, Anubis is the most dark, spicy suede note that I ever experienced. So this is a heavy, dark suede it has a bit also some animalic qualities, and very spicy and dry and dusty. This is fantastic. And then you have on the other side Bengal Rouge, which is the most delicious gourmand. It has honey, you have that freshly baked bread feel, spices, you have the cinnamon in here. I mean, it's fantastic. The smoothest honey in here, and it's delicious. It's a very addicting fragrance, very yummy. So I'm a huge fan, and I hope to add some more from this house. Now I want to talk about, and actually I think I didn't mention it early on this video, about my proudest purchases, my proudest pickups. The first one is from the house of Guerlain, and it is Derby. Because I always wanted to have this in my collection, and I found this at the duty-free airport in Vilnius, and it was a steal. I mean, I don't even remember, but I already mentioned in a video or more even, because, well, it was a steal, really. I think it was the deal of the year. And for a masterpiece that Derby is, this is a Chypre fragrance done right, done to perfection, I would even say. Amazing scent, and I think this is sadly discontinued, at least for now. And the other fragrance that I'm very proud to have, it's from the house of Amouage, another fragrance from Amouage, and it is Opus 6 from the Library Collection. Again, I don't know if this was discontinued or not, because Amouage reshaped this collection. Some were discontinued. I think this one, I don't know. I know that Rose Incense wasn't discontinued. It's still available in the, now I don't have here, but in the regular bottle that comes from the men's counter side of things. But I don't know if Opus 6 was discontinued or not. But I know that I'm very proud to have, because it's been forever on my wish list. Now I want to talk about the best releases of 2022. Now, I will definitely talk about the designer because I tried, I would say, the majority of the new releases, designer releases, because they are readily available in my local perfume shop, in the local perfume shops here in Lisbon. And I will mention one niche fragrance that was released this year, but it will not be as the best. I mean, it's just for reference sake, but doesn't mean that it's really the best, because I haven't tried all the new releases of 2022. I mean, it's insane to try all of them. So in the niche side of things, I mean, I will mention one, and although I love it, I really do love it, but I don't know if it's really the best. But I wanted to feature it because it was released this year and I still love it, and it's for reference sake. But in the designer counter side, no, definitely this is the best, I would say. And yet it's far from being unique. So in the designer side of things, it's from the house of Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privee. Now, I'm a fan of this line because it's heavily inspired in Dior Homme, and I love the Dior Homme line. I love Iris. And so this is not reinventing the wheel again. So this has Iris, of course, but you have cognac, you have amber, you have the vanilla. So you have still some different notes, and some unusual ones that you will not find in the Dior Homme. But still, I mean, you can definitely see the inspiration. I can see a bit of Dior Parfum in here, just a bit, because this, in the end, this line, the line of Givenchy Gentleman line, it's more balsamic and more vanillic, and the Dior Homme, it's definitely more makeup-y and more musky, and you have the leathery nuances that you will not find in the Givenchy Gentleman line. So here it's definitely more balsamic and more vanillic, a bit darker, I would even say, but I mean, it's in the same realm. So again, it's not the most unique fragrance, because again, this is a flanker of a flanker, because this shares a lot of similarities with Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Parfum, which I absolutely love. So this is basically Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Parfum added extra cognac and amber facets. I mean, it's not the most unique and groundbreaking release. It's not far from it, but still, it's a well done Iris fragrance with some unique accords, I would say. So yeah, that's why I'm featuring, because I really do love this one. You also have the Narciso Rodriguez for him Bleu Noir Parfum, also inspired by this Scent DNA, added with the violet and the musk, which is very popular, and which is the DNA in the end of the Narciso Rodriguez fragrances. But I prefer this one. I prefer the thickness and the richness, the darkness of this fragrance right here, and it's a good quality fragrance in the end, I would say. I mean, when you will compare with other fragrances that came this year, I mean, the mainstream designer fragrances are getting worse and worse, in my opinion, not just in terms of uniqueness, but also in terms of materials, blend. I mean, it's either very overly synthetically fresh and cheap, that local supermarket type of fragrance, that €3 type of fragrance, or it's that very sweet, bubblegummy, synthetic also fragrance. I mean, it seems like the passion is gone, which is sad. And that is also happening, it's happening also in the niche world. But I think in the designers is even, it's screaming, even more. I mean, it's more pronounced. But well, it is what it is. So best designer release of this year, in my opinion, definitely Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privee. In the niche side of things, again, I will not say that this is the very best release, because again, I haven't tried all of the new niche releases of 2022. So I mean, I will not say this is the best, but it's definitely a favorite of mine, a great discovery. and it's from the house of Ramon Monegal, and it is Atractone Musk. This one right here. What a fragrance! What a musk! This fragrance, it's not real deer musk, but what Ramon Monegal wanted to do is basically to recreate deer musk with synthetic molecules, and I think he nailed it, because it really smells natural. It has really a natural feeling to it, but it's not for everyone because, again, it has that animalic, furry impression that, I mean, it might turn off some people, and it's very intense, and it can be a bit harsh even, but I absolutely love it. I really do love this fragrance. I mean, it was love at first sniff. From the moment I spray it on my skin, this is really, on my skin, this is definitely furry, animalic, but also a bit leathery. I absolutely love this fragrance. I love the animalic touch in here. I love musk, and this is one of my favorite musks out there. Great job with this fragrance, Atractone Musk. I mean, it's fantastic, great performance, eau de parfum concentration, and if you love musk, I think this one is definitely one you should check out. And last but definitely not least, the brand of the year for me is none other than, of course, Chanel. This year was the year of Chanel for me, and what an adventure it was, what a journey. I started to explore the less exclusive, best decision ever. I mean, it's definitely right now my favorite exclusive line, hands down. And then I started to discover more fragrances from Chanel in the, let's say, mainstream counterpart, with, for example, this beauty, this masterpiece, Cristal Eau de Parfum, which is, it's delightful. This is, it's cold. It's very citrusy at the opening, but it's, again, it's very cold and very melancholic, green. This is, for me, perfect for spring, and I think I will wear this a lot during the springtime. I mean, also another, this was a rediscover, and it is a classic Anteos. I'm a Teos team. I much prefer Anteos to Kouros from Yves Saint Laurent. Anteos is beautiful, and I tried the vintage or the older formulation of Anteos, and it's even better. It's more thick. This one, although it's still, it's still good. It is a good reformulation, but the original has a thickness and a more animalic touch that this one doesn't have. But it's great nonetheless. And then you have, I mean, yeah, Lilion, that I already showed, was my getaway to less exclusive, and I have Boy here also. I mean, seriously, and I have many other. I mean, number 5, Au Première, number 19, all the variations, with the exception of the Parfum variation. I think next year I will dive into the Parfum concentrations of Chanel and also Guerlain. I'm curious, very curious to try the Parfum versions of both sides. Pour Monsieur, both Eau de Parfum and Eau de Toilette, and the others. I mean, I already had the Egoist, Platinum Egoist, to the, I mean, it's such a fantastic house. I'm really surprised that I really enjoyed it, because usually, again, I like more thick and heavy fragrances, and Chanel, it's more elegant and clean and fresh, but the quality is always there, the uniqueness is always there, the elegance is there. I mean, it's really like any other brand. Their DNA, it's really unique, and I absolutely love them for that, for their unique touch, for the high quality ingredients, high quality blend. Amazing. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comments down below what were your highlights of 2022, and see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Ciao.